So welcome. I'm Bridget Bartlett. I'm the CEO and founder of Vision Marketing and Design. And today is Friday, which means it is our Friday Q&A day, where my members and I gather together and they can ask me all of their burning questions. So while I wait to see if anyone else is going to hop in here today, I want to share my screen and let everyone know how to actually join because we have a lot of new members. So this is the dashboard. So if you are unfamiliar, you want to go to, let me go ahead and let Terry in here. You want to go to app.myvisionagency.com, or you can just go to myvisionagency.com and then click on the login button. Okay, so to access the live training, what you want to do is go to the resources tab and you'll see the live training here. And to join us in the Zoom on Fridays only, you can click here and that goes right to the Zoom link. Okay. You also, the tier 5 tools, you can, if you purchased a plan that includes the tier 5 tools, you can check all of those out as well as the training. All you need to do, these are like Chrome extensions. Here is the software, so you can check all of that out there. Also, Messenger CRM. If you have the professional plan, you can actually access a training video here. If you want to become a partner, you can do that up here as well, and then resell as your own. Okay. We also have, I actually do not provide services anymore. I used to have an agency, but I'm strictly SaaS these days. But I don't want to be a middleman. I want to encourage you guys to utilize each other within the network to hire or be hired. So you can actually access our Noisy network. So you get a free Noisy account. If you've never registered yet, you want to click here to get access. If you've already registered, you can just click there and it now opens up in the same tab, which I think is really cool. Here is where you're going to communicate with the network. You can actually click here and you'll see all of the different channels that we have. So if you're working on something and you want some feedback, you can join the channel for the testing lab. And I encourage you, as you post things, also help others and give some feedback. It's a great place to do that. Also, if you want to get any of the high-level updates, you can access that here. And you'll see here that on the inside the channel that it will automatically, every time HighLevel uploads a YouTube video, you'll find that here, as well as the live training for Vision. So if you're looking for the most recent training, you can always access that there as well. Okay. So there are also some other channels. Definitely encourage you to check them out. If you're looking for someone to hire for WordPress, or you want to be hired for WordPress, Mia created a channel here, so you can definitely check all of that out there. Okay. Also, if you want to change your account here, if you want to upgrade, you can check out all of the tools there, and you can also check out the partner option. So if you want to actually resell the tools yourself, you can do that there. Okay, so now since we all have the plans, you can since we all have the same plan, all you need to do is click here if you want to upgrade. Okay, if you want to create a sub account, you can do that there. If you want to become an affiliate, you can click on the affiliates tab. There is a full training here to help you. And then also you need to register first, and then you can log in to become an affiliate. And there are some terms here as well. If you need a private consultation, you can check that out there. And then there's also some additional tools like the drop-in blog, as well as Equid. So we do not have a blog builder or an e-commerce solution, but these are awesome. Equid, you can actually create a free account. And then what's cool about these tools is they will actually, you can embed them into your website that is built on HighLevel, right? We are getting a blog builder sometime this month, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'll definitely be doing some training on that as well. There's a cool thing that I wanted to tell you about. If you go to the settings tab and you go down here to labs, you'll actually see that when HighLevel, which is the white label platform that we use to, house our program, when HighLevel creates new options, you can definitely check all of those things out here. And then you can, this is based on your specific account, you can toggle these new features on if you want to test them out and provide feedback and things like that. Okay. So the new thing that they just released is the conversations. So if you toggle that on, when you go to your conversations tab, and if you're unfamiliar, conversations are basically one place where your messages from like Google My Business or your Facebook page or Instagram or emails and text messages, all of those forms of communication end up in this one conversations tab. Okay. Now let me see if I can find one that has a text message. So what the conversations, that thing that we just toggled on, what that does is it actually adds 3 little dots here for the emails and different things, right? And then when you click there, you can see different options. You can now see the details, basically. Okay, you used to not be able to reply like that or see the details, but when you click there, you'll actually be able to see like what email it was sent from. And I just toggled this on, so it hasn't. It's not retroactive, so you have to have it on and then you have to utilize it, and then you can see the details here. So you'll be able to see like what email or phone number it was sent from, was it delivered, lots of information that you can now gather there. Okay. Something else I wanted to tell you about, if you need help with the HighLevel tools, you can go up here to this little black circle with a question mark, and then you can check out all of the, basically the knowledge base with all of the different tutorial videos and things to be able to help you. And you can also reach out to support. Okay, so I have hired my own support team, so they're really awesome. Definitely encourage you to utilize support if you need help. Okay, if you need assistance with the tier 5 tools, each of the tools actually has their own support team. So you can actually just pop into support within the tool and contact them, or you can just email them at support@tier5.us. And then also with Genius Messenger, if you need support with Genius Messenger, you can contact support within the tool as well. Okay, so 3 different support teams. I just wanted to explain that, and definitely you guys utilize this. There's really some great trainings, and the team actually updates all of this. So this is definitely the best place to go if you're looking for, up-to-date training on each of the individual tools. Okay, so very good. They're, step-by-step also with the video. So definitely check that out. It's a great resource. Also, I wanted to tell you guys that if you go to my YouTube channel, let me see if I can pull it up here. If you go to my YouTube channel here, you will see that I have created an event for July 18th. I am actually having the CEO of repurpose.io. He's going to do a training with us, and he's going to show us how to use repurpose.io to turn one piece of content into 30. You're also, if you're interested in that, you can also get a discount on repurpose.io, a special discount for watching, and he's also going to announce some cool new features. Okay, so that is the gist of everything that I wanted to tell you about. So hello, Terry, and do you go by Rick or Ricky?
Either one.
Okay. Okay. What does your family call you?
Ricky.
Okay, we're going to call you Ricky then. And Terry, it's not Tear or anything.
Oh, no, that's good. Terry. Everybody call me Terry.
Yeah. Hey.
Yep.
How are you guys? How is your week? Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, yeah, I got quite a few. I guess I'll get it started. Dealing with Chirply. So I've been going through setting up my phone numbers because I have some things, but I was looking at Chirply can do campaigns and broadcasts and stuff, which is, can we tie that in with the webhook to go level or HighLevel?
Yes, you can. There's lots of things that you can do. What I do, and I honestly, I don't use it as much as I used to because I don't do a lot of really any type of prospecting anymore. But what I used to do was, for one, I love the IVR feature. I think that's I think it's better than what HighLevel has. It just is easier to do, even though essentially you could accomplish the same thing. It's just much easier. But what I like to do is use Chirply for like cold outreach, right? So if I'm sending lots of text messages and different things like that, or I want to build out like these like voice campaigns and things like that, I'm going to use Chirply. But what I want to do is all of my hot leads, all of the ones who have responded to me that I want to follow up with and things like that, I want to move them to HighLevel, because I feel like HighLevel is much better when it comes to tracking and nourishing the leads. And then, all of my campaigns and all of that are inside of HighLevel.
Okay, so question on the callbacks system, right? I see Chirply has that as well. Missed call. All right. I have some business owners I was talking to that I went through their system and I was like, y'all didn't call me back. And I can imagine how many other calls you missing. So I was kind of torn with the missed call with Chirply and the missed call with HighLevel, which number to use if I use that number from Chirply, I can use that same number for my number for HighLevel number business, for the business number.
Yeah, what a lot of agencies do is they actually use the HighLevel number and then they forward it to the Chirply number. So what that does is it allows you to utilize the call tracking features and all of that. But if you have an IVR that's built with Chirply, you want to utilize that. But you just have to be conscious of, the flow and where they're going. But and really your purpose, because if your main goal is for them to end up in HighLevel, you want to start with Chirply and then route them to HighLevel. But yeah, it just depends on whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Well, what my process thought is where a person can call into the system and then they could put them into a campaign automatically. So it's like, okay, if you need to hear this information, I have a whole funnel for that information, which takes them into a but I don't want to have it where I'm building a whole campaign here, because I like our workflow with HighLevel, because that over there, you can do almost everything. So it's kind of being redundant if I do it over here and then do it over. So now my thought process, I really want to keep it flow where I just use because the workflow over there is so much you can do as far as automations compared to Chirply. But then Chirply, I like it where you can set up that serious route of numbers to go. So my question is setting them numbers up, connecting it to the HighLevel, routing it. My ultimate goal is taking it through the HighLevel workflow with the series of the IVR system. So the way I look at the IVR system as where do I want to put them in or release them into the campaigns compared to just taking a name, just taking a number. I want to take them through an experience more so than just what you're looking for, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really great for the IVR. So if you build out an IVR, you could actually have, like, let's say your option one, you want to route to a Go HighLevel phone number. Okay, so the customer's never going to see that. It's just going to route to HighLevel, then it's going to trigger that whole workflow and everything that has to do with that number. But maybe option two, you want to go to like a different Chirply number, or maybe somebody's cell phone, or maybe a different, landline business, whatever you want that to go to. So yeah, there's definitely, I would start, if you want something like that, I would start with the IVR, and then the number or option you want to go to HighLevel, then utilize that function, the forwarding function.
So would a number be the trigger? You know how you start the workflow, we started with the CRM. So would that be the trigger to start everything when the number comes over? What would be my trigger to start that workflow?
Yeah, you can actually start with the number, or let's dive into HighLevel and let's see, because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Because
I got these guys, and what they have is a hub of businesses. So if I get them, I have the whole hub of businesses.
Yeah. So let's see the trigger here. Okay, so call status. Let's add filters. Okay, call status, no answer. Call. Okay, so we have the call whisper. Yeah, I'm just trying to, I know what you're trying to do. I'm trying to look and see what the options are. Because depending too, well, let me see.
Or will it, can a trigger be a campaign? Taking them into that campaign, or because I don't want to do a form because people ain't gonna fill out a form on when they call it.
Right. I need to think about that because you don't have to actually have, it really just depends. I know there's an option here that has something like you have the callback and then maybe.
Question, what is the entry point they're coming from? Like from a opt-in page, or they texting?
No, they're calling. They're calling into. I'm using the Chirply phone system as a capture system.
Yeah, so you have, I'm working through the process here. So you have, they call into Chirply, you route them to a, which essentially it's going to be the same process, whether you're using Chirply or not. They're going to call in, and then you want the action to take place when they call in. But I'm struggling to remember because I know there's an option. We obviously have the missed callback option. And then, so with your missed callback, you could say, or missed call text, you could say, you know, how can we help you? And then you could set up like a customer reply and then say, contains whatever the phrase is, right? So if you wanted to say like, sorry, we missed your call. Please tell me how we can help you. And then you wanted to say like services or something. And then they typed in services, then you could, you know, trigger a reply. So that is one option that you can use. But and then you have intent type there. Yeah, there's lots of things that you can use. Yeah, you would really, you know, play around with that.
That's
and then also look at the webhook options and see what Zapier allows you to do as well. That's
what I was on right now. Before we got here, I was looking at the webhooks. The other thing with the FM's CRM, the tags, that ain't automated. We have to go in there and put those tags in.
For the what?
For the FM CRM, the Facebook Messenger CRM with the tags.
Yeah.
Those are not automated. Those are tags we have to place in when the person, when we move them in from wherever, because I was watching the videos and I didn't see anywhere he was talking about automated.
You can utilize the, and let's just dive in here. I so much rather show you than tell you.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Genius Messenger?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I don't think it's automated with the tags.
Yeah.
I think you have to manually.
I was looking.
So let me get into, I don't want to reveal someone's message here, but let's see.
Yeah, I was looking at that, Rick. I didn't see it either. And I was like, that means physically I have to work those tags.
So with the tags, you know, you can set those up like with webhooks. Let me actually get into this thing and then go to, okay, so you can't do your tags here, but you can go here into this and you can create your tags. Okay, so here's the tags and then you have the webhook. So let's see, I'm just going to do test and then let's say webhook.com and add. Okay, so that's how you create your webhook. Let me go to, all right, refresh this. I think, okay. So once you label, so I just have to go through this process so that I can, once you label someone. Oh, I'm on mine. Okay, I'm afraid to like go. Okay. So this person right here. Okay. Now the point of this, okay, is that you want to, you're networking with them, right? So you need to like figure out, where are they going to go, right? So you're having this conversation like with this person, maybe I'm talking to them and I decide, okay, I need to follow up with them, right? So you can base what you're wanting to do off of the conversation, because there's really no way to, like, when someone comes into Messenger, that you're going to just automatically trigger something, unless you want to use like Meth and Evan, which is like an autoresponder. You might be able to use those options, but you can also add them to your, if you're using the API integration, you can add them to one of these pipelines, and then you can base an automation from that pipeline. But if I add, like, say I wanted to add this person to follow up, then you can add the tags here. And then when you tag them with something, you can have that trigger a webhook. And then you could also do a series of automations that way.
Copy. Okay. All right. I got some homework to do. I really want to get that set up. I see a need for it, and some angles where I'm at that I could get some wins like in the next week. So that's what
I know. It's like when you utilize all of these tools, and the Facebook marketing tools are awesome. Yeah. They're totally awesome. Like, I am not a person who likes to prospect, but I'm always on Facebook. It's probably my least favorite social media, but probably my favorite, but I don't like to be on social media. But it's like all the leads everybody's on Facebook all the time, and everybody's using Facebook for business because there's billions of people in there. So if you can figure out, what's going to make you excel above most other people, is the follow-up. Because no one, I mean, how many times have someone says, hey, you want this free thing? And then they actually follow up with you. No one ever does that. But if you can do that, that really makes you stand out.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to the owners today, and they were like, what? I said, oh, yes, AI to a whole nother level, high level. It was like, very interesting. But see, I'm already setting it up based on what I didn't have, because I didn't went through their whole opt-in and everything. And I'm like, I didn't get really no replies back. I said, can you imagine the many numbers, how many people calling that number on your website and nothing has happened? I just popped up into your facility, but how many people like myself then call that number and no response?
Yeah. And
you could capture all that. I mean, you capture hundreds of people, which means more business. So.
And, that's exactly what we were talking about. Was it last week or a couple of weeks ago? Because every small business has this problem. So if you can just get an edge in, and with that little awesome service, like, you don't have to come in and say, hey, I'm Terry, look at all the services that I provide you. Like, you word vomit the services, but instead you're like, you don't care about this techie stuff. Do you want to capture these leads that you keep missing? Do you want to stop answering the phone to Home Advisor 15 times a day? Because this is the solution I'm going to solve for you. And then it's like, oh, that's such a cheap, easy solution. But yes, adding on and building out, it's like that little thing that you're doing makes a huge difference. And now that you're their go-to person, they're going to come to you with everything that they need.
That's going to be my lead magnet that I'm going to sell. Yeah.
It's great. And then it's like, then you could get them. I have, and this is kind of what I was talking about with custom values. I have a client who never touches HighLevel ever. It's like, we set their system up to where it just sends them emails with the information that they need. And they don't touch the app. They don't touch the dashboard. They never, ever log in. They just get the quote request, and then they contact, because they're just, one, it's like an opening offer type service, but two, they just don't want to be involved in all that techie stuff. They're just very simple. Like, I just want an email and then I will call them back.
Mm.
So here's the beautiful part. When they start getting these emails and then they're calling back and then they're like, man, I just talked to this person. Now, how am I going to organize all this information? Now I have more services I can sell you.
Okay. Doorway in.
Yeah. So you just let them figure out what the problem is with the current setup. They're already like, wow, this is working great. This is awesome. And then they're like, oh, now I have a new problem because this part's solved. Now I need to organize this stuff. So when you're following up with your clients, like if you're sending invoices, every single month that you send them an invoice, which first of all, I always recommend having a stored card on file. Don't ever just send invoices and then wait to get paid. I never do that. But when it's time to pay their invoice, always call them or send an email or something or a text and say, you could even set up an automated text to send to them every single month and say, hey, I just wanted to follow up with you. How's the system working? Is there anything that we can do to improve it? Is there anything additional that, that type of thing. So what are your problems and how can I help you solve them?
Sounds good. I'm pretty excited about that. And hitting that solution, because that's going to open doors for more. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. So I've been just going through that and finding what lead magnet that I'm gonna go with and promote it. Just promote that one thing right now, because there's so many ways you could go, and then you do so many, you don't go nowhere. So I'm like, one thing, push it out there, and say, hey, I can help you with that solution, and then go off, get that phone call, book appointment. Yeah, that's why I heard you last week about getting book appointments. So I'm like, okay, I didn't set up my calendar, so that's pretty good. That's it. That was the only question I had, because I went through getting my numbers and setting. I was like, how can I connect this? And I don't want to be redundant having two different campaigns when I want everything to flow through HighLevel, because there's so many ways I could go with it.
Yeah. And another service like you were talking about is like the IVR service.
Yep.
How you can every business needs one of those phone trees, right? Yep. So it's like you can come in and say, look, $20 a month. I'll set this up for you, and then you don't have to worry about it. Well, now it's like month 2, and you're like, hey, let's do some little bit more advanced things. We can do this, we can do that. And what's the problem and how can I help you solve it? Totally. That's the way to do it.
I am totally excited. Yeah.
Yay. I see Maria has her hand up. Hello, Miss Maria.
Hey, I don't have a very complex question. Just on one of the tools, the Friend Connector Plus. I'm running it right now. And my question is it started running yesterday, and I had to close my computer, and then I opened it and it's still running. But then when I click on the little icon, the little, the little Chrome thing at the top, and I click on, I'm doing it now, Friend Connectors Plus, what comes up? Oh, now it's come up, but it wasn't coming up. What was coming up was like something weird, like the video.
So when you shut your computer down, it's technically not working. So when you open it back up, it's like going to need to be like refreshed and redone, because for it to work, it needs to be like open and then running, and then make sure that you have like the additional window that it opens up, make sure that that's open too, and that it stays open the whole time you want it to run.
Okay.
What I tend to use is like a separate, like a laptop, and have it running on a different browser. That way it'll stay open and operate. Because if you shut it down, like she said, it's not gonna.
And when I refresh, I just refresh at the top there, you mean, or restart it again from?
Yeah, you'll have to restart it. What I usually do is just close that window out, refresh my screen, and then I just set it up again.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. I was just curious as to, because I opened it and it started running again. I'm thinking, do I do something or do I stop it? Okay, I'll try that. Thanks.
I think it's just kind of like when you open it back up, it's like, oh, I was asleep. Should I start working again? I'm kind of looking like I'm working, but I need, so you just have to.
Like it, you're right. Okay. Yeah. It looks like it's working. I said, I have to ask that today. to make sure I'm just not wasting my time. Thank you.
Yeah, and like Ricky said, is, you know, what I do too is I usually, like, as soon as my lives are over and I'm done in my office, I will just set it to run in my office while I'm, you know, in my house. Maybe I'm on my laptop in the living room, and then that way it doesn't like bother anything that I'm doing. Because especially like if you're running some things that like the birthday wisher, you know, it'll open window after window, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have all these. It's like I'll be typing something out. It's like a window pops open. I'm like, oh no. But yeah, that's why I'd say separate browser for sure.
Yeah, that happens to me too. So what I did was, if I'm working on a computer, I don't run it in the same browsers that I'm working in. I actually use a different browser. Like, for instance, I work in Chrome. Then I use the other extension like Brave or Opera, and I have those running for just the extension, so it doesn't interfere with whatever I'm doing on.
I'm glad you said that, Ricky, because I know Bridget mentioned to use a different browser, but I'm not. I was thinking I just opened another window. You're actually saying a different browser. But can you run what you just mentioned and use Chrome on what you just mentioned? The other, I've never heard of what you said before, the two. But can you
Brave,
use Safari?
Opera, or
can you use Safari or no?
No, they don't operate with Safari.
Okay, so Chrome works with Brave and Opera.
Yeah.
But you could, I mean, you could use the Chrome browser for your extensions and things, and then whatever you're doing, use anything that you want to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I understand.
I don't like, I basically have like my Facebook browser is basically what it is, because it's like my Facebook account and then all of the extensions and my tools and all those things. But I actually work in a completely separate Google account for that reason. And also because whether you're using these types of tools or just any other browser extension, especially like building websites and doing things that take a lot of, you know, a lot of power, I guess, it will like slow things down. Sometimes it makes like things act a little like glitchy and funky because those extensions, or any extensions, the way that it works. So when I'm actually working in my Google account, I don't have almost any browsers at all, browser extensions enabled.
Yeah, that's the same for me too. I find that it runs slow.
Mm-hmm.
So I just deleted all the extension from that browser that I work in. And for my preference, I just use the extensions in the Brave or the Opera, or there's another one, Microsoft Edge. I just use those browsers just for those extensions alone, for like Facebook or anything else. Because when I was building a website, it kept interfering. So yeah. I had to do a workaround, and it works fine now since I have the extension just in those browsers, and then my Chrome, which I like working in. I just do my work in Chrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she said, you can work in a different account, a Google account, and it works that way as well too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have anything to talk about?
I got my task at hand. So,
do you guys want to do this little contest here? Let's get my little spinny wheel. That's the technical word for it. Spinny wheel. Okay, so we have Miss Maria, and we have Terry, and we have Ricky here. Okay, and let me share my screen. Okay, so we're going for tool or free 30-minute consultation. Okay, so here we go. I love this little wheel thing. It's so cool.
The best.
Maria!
Yay. Yay. Yay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Super excited.
That's only because I'm wearing her favorite color today.
That's totally what it is.
That's
I was
all.
like,
it is.
I'll
I
wear
said to-
purple next time.
That's it. That's where it's at. That's what you gotta know.
So that's how we win. Okay,
Yeah.
next time.
There we go. I'll
Put a
take
little
it.
extra pushing that
Yeah,
wheel.
yeah.
that's it. It's attracted to purple.
If you guys want to use that wheel, it's pickerwheel.com.
Yeah.
So did you guys also know that if you are at the 490, what is it, 497 now? If you guys are on the 497 plan, you now have different modules. Let me actually show you this because I don't think that I actually did. Let me go to my demo account so I'm not. I'm trying to reorganize things in the resource area. So if you guys go to resources and you click here, you'll see that there are different areas now. So if you're on the 97 plan or a trial, you're going to get access to this area here. And then if you're on the 297, you'll get access to this area, and then 497, this area. So the reason that I had to do that separately is because now if you're on the 497 plan, you get the not just the member snapshot, but you also get my agency snapshot. And then with the 297, you get the member snapshot. And then the trials and things, you don't get any
Hey,
snapshots.
can you explain what's the difference between 297 plan and the 497?
Yeah, so with HighLevel, there are some things that you get with the 497 that you don't get with the 297. One of them, and this is also another bonus in the 497 plan, you can automatically create user accounts. So with 497, that plan, it's the SaaS plan. So you actually get the SaaS configurator, which will, and I can actually show you that. Let me get in here. So you can go to the SaaS configurator. And what this does is it allows you basically to choose the plans within your agency. So if you imagine like Aweber or any other type of software that has 3 different plans, they usually have, like, for example, with this plan, maybe you want to offer 2-way texting, or these with the lock on it, they have to be in the basic plan. But maybe like for 297, I wanted to give them access to these tools here. Okay. And then maybe for 497, I wanted them to also have these tools, right? So you can use this to configure your plans. And what that does is it actually allows you to automate this whole process, right? So you choose your plans here, and then they can, sign up, and then they automatically, this is done for you, right? So you don't, at the 297 level, you can still do this, but it's a manual process. So you would have to okay, $97. Okay, you get access to surveys and CRM, and then you'd have to manually create the account, then manually create the user, and then you would have to toggle off the tools that they don't have, and then you would have to toggle them on if they did want to upgrade. But the 497, everything's automated, right? Also with the 497, you have a more advanced options with the API, so that you can automatically create accounts, even if you don't want to use this. Because I have a $67 plan, you can use this and then go to Stripe and then do some coding and then have a coupon to make it cheaper. That's kind of a cumbersome process. So if you're on the 497 plan, you also have in your bonuses a Zapier link that because it's not organically available in Zapier, but there is a Zapier link that you can use to automatically create the accounts, so you can do them however you want to. So for me, I really only have the beginner account and it has all the tools, but I have 2 other plans, and in that automation, I set up Zapier, and then I have the account creation. And then let's say you get the business plan, it will also trigger in the same workflow all of the tier 5 tools that you get access to. And then the professional plan, you also, it's going to create the account, and then it's going to have all of those specific tools. So I have just the workflows for all of those things. Also with the 497, you have the ability to resell or rebill rather email and texting credits. So you can set it up to where as the agency, they basically are using your Twilio account, and then you can have it set up to where, let's say Twilio charges you, 10 cents of, that's way outrageous. They're not going to charge that much, but let's just say 10 cents for a text message. You can actually set this up to say, okay, Twilio is charging me 10 cents, but I want to charge 30 cents. And then every time someone sends a text message, you're going to bill them 30 cents, right? So it's going to automate this whole process for you. They'll be able to basically create like a wallet where they will, replenish the wallet as it's been used. So let's say they have, $50 in their wallet. Once they use that $50, and you are charging, your fee here. So they use that $50, then it gets recharged, right? Because they have a card on file. And the same thing with the email. It used to be, and if you're on the 297 plan, it's still like this, where if you are an agency and they are using like your SMTP provider, you need to be able to create like their email address and then all of that. But using the SaaS configurator will allow you to name your own price to rebill for email credits, the same that you do the texting. There's also other options, like you get the Eliza bot, the AI chat bot and the workflow at the 297 level. You don't get that at the or at the 497, but you don't get that at the 297 level. So those are really the main differences. It just really depends on, I think I signed up at the 297 because, they don't have the SaaS plan on the main website. So I signed up at the 297. And as soon as I found out the automations, I was like 497. Before my trial was even up, it was like 2 days later, like I need SaaS. Yeah. Anybody else have questions? No? All right. Well, Maria, definitely let me, I will send you my link so you can book your, I assume you want a discovery call.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't need any more tools. I barely can get the tools I have now. Thank you. I'm all tooled out.
I know, I'm with you. And I was just playing around with Meth and Evan because there's so many tools that even I haven't even gotten into them. OMG. So cool. If you have not gotten Meth and Evan yet, let me show you.
I haven't played with it yet.
Oh my gosh. And I haven't set mine up yet. So I am definitely not ready to do a training, but I want to show you what Meth and Evan, what it is.
They come up with these names.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny? That one.
yeah, I have Meth and Evan. Do anybody know what it means?
What does it mean?
You sure you want to?
It's probably a curse. Knowing John, it's
yes.
Probably a curse.
He's very vocal. I'm like, okay.
Message effing everyone.
Oh wow.
Okay. We're gonna pray for John.
Oh.
So you know what I love about John Vaughn is he is unapologetically himself.
Yeah.
And this is what I tell everyone. If you want to build a brand online, stop focusing on trying to be perfect for everyone because it's never going to happen. Just be yourself, and then the right people will stay and the wrong people will leave. That is honestly the best thing you could ever do online is just be yourself. So John is great at that. And I appreciate it because I'm the same way. So just in a different, I don't curse as much as he, but that's okay. That's his thing. He's successful at it. So good for him.
I actually like John.
Yeah.
I like John.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah.
We have different styles, but that's okay. That's the beautiful part about being yourself. Is you just be yourself. That's the main thing. So Meth and Evan is basically an autoresponder. You can actually create like chat bots with this. Okay, so it's connected to your Facebook Messenger account. And like, let's say that I wanted to, and you can see I just was playing around here. I wanted to set up a message to where if someone messages me hi, which is super annoying, by the way. I don't know why people do this. It's so like counterproductive. I almost always ignore it. But because I almost always ignore it, I decided to set that as my first little automation here. But what's cool is you can set these keywords. And then so if someone messages you hello or hi, it will automatically send them a message and say hi, whatever their first name is. So you can actually, you can do very simple things, or you can actually do, pretty complex things if you wanted to build it all out. But you can do the simple responses here. You can have like a default response. You can use message groups. Of course, you have to create the message group before you can choose it. But yeah, I want to play around with this a little bit more before I actually go too deep into it. But definitely there is training in your dashboard that John did. So definitely, if you're interested in playing around this weekend with it, check out that training. Super, super cool. And that's what I'll be doing this weekend, is playing around with Muffin Evan.
This goes well with the post profits and what else? The
Genius Messenger.
Genius Messenger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Post profit.
Post profits. Yeah. When you start using these tools, you see, they created a product that's not been released yet. It's called Friender, and it combines all of these tools into one. So that's coming. I haven't seen it yet, but that is coming. But you can see why they did that, because you have these super awesome tools. And then if you know how to use them all together, oh my gosh, it's crazy powerful. Just looking at like GrooveFlu, and then the post profits, and then using the Genius Messenger, and then Muffin Evan, all of those things together alone are just crazy. It's so transformative.
Create a whole Facebook marketing suite with those.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing that I love the most about it is it takes the people who don't have a large audience or a brand, or maybe never even did marketing, and it allows you to actually make money with marketing, because doing that strategy is what's going to, even if it's just sharing an affiliate link, manually entering in the email, that type of thing, you don't need the skills, you don't need the audience. And if you use those tools that way, you will definitely make sales. Do you agree, Ricky?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Been with John for 3 years.
Yeah. And so share your experience.
I love my experience. For instance, I have like I'm actually a co-partner or founder with Genius Messenger CRM with Ed.
Yeah.
I was one of the founding partners. And I love it because the tags and the automation messaging, you can keep everything in order as far as your messenger. Because I used to have chase down people and scroll, and I'm like, and then he came out with that. I jumped on board and love it. The Muffin Evan, I was always looking for a chatbot, but it was always made for like pages.
Yeah.
And then when John came up with that idea for the personal profile, jumped on that. Love it. The other one is Friend Connector, and you do so many options with Friend Connector. You can request people on posts, friend request people in your friends list, groups. So many options you can do with Friend Connector. And then the Friend Disconnector, people don't engage with you. I love to just get people off my list. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you see them no engagement or whatever, I just say bye. Sorry, no hard feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you have no hard feelings, because you can just bye. There's like how many billions of people on Facebook, and you only have 5,000 slots.
Right.
So, yeah, if you're not engaging, it's probably like a fake account anyway. Or
right.
Yeah.
But what I most like using Friend Connectors for is the posts, because I use the post filter
Mhm.
to go find like engaged posts with like thousands, hundreds of people's on that reply to them. And then I use Friend Connector to go to work and start friend requests to those people. Cause I feel those people are like the hot, they so to speak, hot targets or hot leads or whatever, because they're active. So I go and friend request them to try to help build my my list up.
How do you do that, Ricky? What did you say? You use friend connectors for post?
Yeah, you can you can actually friend request people on highly engaged posts,
Yeah.
no matter if it's on in friend,
I think that's what Bridget showed us how to do that recently,
Yeah.
right, Bridget? That's what I was working my way towards doing.
Yeah, Ricky is, I don't think I've actually shown the filter yet that Ricky was talking about. But the filter, super, super cool. And again, I'll probably have to do a training on this next week because you're so right about that. The filter, what it allows you to do is take your personal Facebook profile, and then you use the filter and you can type in like keywords, and then it will search all the posts in your timeline. And then it will show you all the posts with that specific keyword. So then, like what Ricky's saying is, you can use Friend Connector. Once you find that post that has like lots of engagement and all that, you can use Friend Connector and then automatically send all of the people who have engaged there a friend request.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's a great strategy, because you're only allowed to have about 1,000 pending unaccepted friend requests. Okay. So if you just go and you send 1,000 friend requests and then no one accepts it because they don't know you, or they just don't often accept friends, or whatever the reason is.
Facebook is not gonna push your information out there, because Facebook's gonna be like, okay, well, you don't know these people, so we're not gonna push your information out there. So, but what I do is when I send friend requests, I wait a week, and if nobody responds, I just delete them all and then replenish again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do too.
Where do you find those on Facebook? I've never even looked at that list. Is there a list that you look at?
You can actually use, and let me show you here. You can actually look on Friend Connector. Like if I go right here to Friend Connector and I go click here, you'll see delete pending requests. And then when you click that, another window opens up, and then you'll see all of these pending requests, and it'll start deleting them one by one. And then that will make sure that you stay under that 1,000. Another strategy for staying under that 1,000 is like he was saying, you send friend requests to the friends of friends that you have, which is like what you can do with that filter. So when you use that and you're sending the friend request, the chances of them accepting are much higher if you have mutual friends. And then what's really cool is, once you have been using these tools and you're really building up very targeted, friends in your timeline or your profile, you want to look at the mutual friends, and you want to start focusing with that, because it'll help you eliminate a lot of the spammers and all of that, but also it increases your likelihood of them accepting. Because I was just looking at some of my friends who, like, I have like 500 and something mutual friends with some people, and it's like, those are definitely the people that you want in your network, because if you're all friends with the same friends, you're doing the same thing. So you definitely want to, send those people friend requests. So yeah, it's great how it all works together.
And it seems like you said in your training, counterintuitive, because I would think that many times I looked for friends and I would be like, oh, they're in the same thing I'm in, and I don't want to invite them to be my friend, because then it's like I'm competing. But when you said it like that, it did make sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Because you never know if you can help them out. They might not know about the tools you offer or whatever you're posting or whatever business you're in. They might say, oh, you're into that, start reaching out to you and go from there. Everybody has different niches that they're in, and they need help in certain aspect of their niches, and maybe your tools or software or your knowledge can help them out.
That's so true.
Yeah, and you can also, receive great value from them. Look at their posts. Do they get a lot of engagement? If you're posting, you may want to, take cues from them, or it's also a great icebreaker. If you're both, doing the same thing, if you're like in network marketing, you're both in the same company, it's a great icebreaker because you can say, hey, I just heard about this product, or what do you think about this, or what are you using for your website? I just looked at it. It's great. It's like it breaks down the barrier and it makes it so less spammy because it's like a normal conversation. A lot of times we think because it's online, you can't be like a normal person, but you would never just walk up to someone and be like, hey, how's business? Or whatever the lame thing that people say.
Oh, yeah.
I got one question.
Yeah.
On that IVR system, I know I could create numerous of them, right? When I start going for business, is it better to have different accounts for that? Do I didn't need to be separately, or I could just build a list of them? Where I'm going, a list of clients.
Yeah.
The same system.
So you have the unlimited agency plan.
Right.
So you can create, and this is what I do because I have multiple businesses, and then it's like you may just want like kind of a dummy number because you're sending a lot of cold messages or something like that. So you can actually take your phone numbers and then you can like create number pools, and you could also like label them, whatever. So you totally can run a whole.
Okay.
You could run a whole agency with Chirply alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have to create the entities, the agency, and create those number flows with that.
Yeah.
Each one to go to whatever the different agent. I got it worked out. It's just mind mapping it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't it so great that you have all these tools? Like, this is what excited me so much about adding the tier 5 tools, is because it's like, we're all over the place. We all have so many solutions, and it's like it's like one tool doesn't do something that you want it to do, or there's such a learning curve. You just don't. It's like you have everything. You don't need additional tools. If you like Chirply better for some things, do that. If you like HighLevel, you have that. You're not spending more money to make money.
Ricky says something that I'm a move on because it's
Terry. When you're mapping out something, this is what I do. I take this whiteboard and I map it out to how I want it to go.
Yep, I got a whiteboard too. I got a similar, same one. What Ricky said, man, you said something powerful that I'm gonna move on because it's a need, and I can create a product out of the Facebook tools and how to use them together, and then package that. And then go into network marketing where I'm from. And that's what those people need. It's time out for the old school of network. I'm telling you, 3.0. You need to do a 3.0 for you to go out and go down to start going to the malls and talking to people. That's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm with Bridget. I'm like automation. The manual thing is just tedious to me. So always trying to find ways to automate the situation. You know what I mean?
I had a guy talking about, I'm gonna go travel. I like, you go travel, I'm gonna do Zoom. So it automated. So I think creating that's be a product of need, and there's thousands of people who are gonna pay for that. So
well, yes, and that's a great point, because everyone, if you're on Facebook, you need all these tools. Yep. And there's no, there's lots of chat bots. There's lots of different tools that are great for Facebook business pages or whatever, but there are no other tools. I mean, there are some, I guess, that would do some of the things, but with all of these tools, it's like, it's a no-brainer. And the beautiful thing about when you're reselling is you can say, hey, I am giving massive discounts today only for Friend Connector. And then you are selling the Friend Connector, right? And then your thank you page is now an upsell for, hey, do you want Friend Disconnector? I mean, you could do like a whole series of a one funnel that's like each page they're adding on a new tool. And before you know it, they're paying $300 for a suite of Facebook tools that are definitely going to pay for themselves.
Yep.
Only thing I got to do is make a video on it to upsell.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, exactly. You don't have to sell. The tools sell themselves.
I love it.
Yes.
Like I said, this time next year, it's gonna be on and popping. I'm excited where our company going and we're launching. So yeah, we're good. Appreciate it.
I'm excited to be along for the ride. Yeah. All right, guys. If you do, go ahead.
The calendar you have in the back office, are you only Monday through Friday bookings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta pick a day. I gotta pick a day.
I like to say that I don't work on weekends, but weekends are my time that I'm flexible, where I don't have, how you go live every day and it's like, okay, I need to get this work done and I need to do this and this and okay, I need to stop now. I need to prepare for the live. I need to do. So yeah, weekends are I try so hard to not work, but they're also my fun times. So this weekend will be Meth and Evan. That's my fun work. Did you guys have any other questions?
Thank you, Bridget.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Maria. I will send you that link so you can book your call, and I will see you all Monday, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time.